Greetings, quiet warriors. Have you ever watched someone enter a room, and the air shifts? People lean in when they speak, nod naturally, remember every word they said long after the conversation ends. Meanwhile, you talk more, much more. You add humor, insight, charm, and stories. Yet the eyes glaze, the attention drifts, and the conversation feels heavy without connection. You are saying more, but people are hearing less. The difference is not in words, it is in presence. Not in performance, but in character. Not in volume, but in weight. True influence, attraction, and connection do not come from talking endlessly or performing to impress. They come from subtraction, removing neediness, filler, and pretension. They come from listening with curiosity, speaking with honesty, validating rather than solving, and using silence strategically. The Stoics, from Marcus Aurelius to Epictetus and Seneca, knew this deeply. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Influence arises from being, not from speaking. Epictetus reminded us, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so we can listen twice as much as we speak." Presence, authenticity, and integrity outweigh performance and charm every time. Today, I'll show you 6 communication principles that, if applied deliberately, will change how people perceive you, how conversations unfold, and how attraction and influence emerge naturally. These are not manipulations. They are tools of human connection rooted in respect, honesty, and clarity. Master them, and the energy you carry will speak louder than any words you could force. Let's begin. Phrase number 1, tell me more about that. This first principle is curiosity. Genuine curiosity draws people out of themselves. It is not feigned interest or surface questions. It is the kind of curiosity that invites someone to share the deepest parts of their experience without fear of judgment. The simple phrase "tell me more about that" carries immense power. Imagine listening to someone tell a story about a challenge they faced at work or in their personal life. Most people nod and offer advice immediately, jumping to solutions. The person who says "tell me more about that" instead, opens a door. It signals respect and invites deeper disclosure. This phrase is a key that unlocks conversations others struggle to reach. Epictetus reminded us that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so we can listen twice as much as we speak. Listening with curiosity is not passive. It is an active engagement. You must focus, notice subtle cues in tone and expression, and refrain from inserting your own stories too quickly. This practice creates trust. It builds rapport naturally. A friend might describe a personal loss and you respond with "tell me more about that." They pause, then reveal more of their story than they ever expected to share. In that moment, your presence matters more than your advice or your cleverness. Genuine curiosity is the foundation of attraction and influence. Phrase number 2, I don't know. Most people avoid this phrase because they think it makes them look weak. This second principle is honesty. Admitting you do not know something is a rare and magnetic trait. We live in a world where knowledge is flaunted, where pretending to know is often rewarded. But saying "I do not know" carries more weight than pretending. It signals confidence, humility, and integrity. Socrates said, "I know that I know nothing." This is not weakness. It is mastery. In a conversation where someone asks for your opinion on a topic outside your expertise, the natural reflex might be to offer a half-formed response to save face. Instead, "I do not know" demonstrates authenticity and invites collaboration. The person across from you senses honesty and trusts it. They feel seen and respected because you are not performing. Imagine a meeting where colleagues debate a complex issue. One person claims certainty on every point, while another occasionally admits I do not know. Over time, the latter is remembered as credible and trustworthy. Honesty over performance becomes a magnet for attention and influence. Presence rooted in truth carries weight. It allows others to rely on you without fear of deceit or exaggeration. Phrase number 3, that sounds difficult. Someone shares a problem with you. Work has been overwhelming. Their relationship is struggling. They're exhausted trying to keep everything together. And your first instinct, the thing everyone does, is to immediately offer solutions. Have you tried? What if you just? When I was dealing with that, You think you're being helpful. You're not. You're dismissing them. This third principle is validation. People are rarely asking for solutions. They are asking to be understood. That sounds difficult is a phrase that acknowledges struggle without jumping to fix it. The message received is not empathy. Validation says I see you. I hear you. I acknowledge your experience. Marcus Aurelius taught be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. Validating another person does not require agreement or surrendering your principles. It simply honors their experience. A coworker expresses frustration about a project. You respond with that sounds difficult. They pause, exhale, and feel relief. The weight of validation allows connection to deepen. It is subtle, yet powerful. Most people don't share problems because they want you to fix them. They share because they need to be heard. Because they've been carrying something heavy and just saying it out loud to someone who actually listens makes it lighter. But when you jump straight to solutions, you're telling them their struggle isn't that complicated. That if they just did this obvious thing you thought of in 5 seconds, the problem they've been living with for months would disappear. And now they feel worse. Not only do they still have the problem, now they feel stupid for not having solved it with your simple solution. Watch what happens instead when you say, that sounds difficult. Over time, people remember not the advice you gave, but the way you made them feel heard and understood. Validation is attraction because it creates emotional safety. Phrase number 4, silence. This is the hardest discipline. Most people never master it. But it's what makes everything you say actually matter. Most people are terrified of silence. Strategic pauses are more powerful than words. Silence conveys confidence, reflection, and attention. Seneca said silence is a lesson learned from the many sufferings of life. Silence allows your words to carry weight. It invites others to fill the space, revealing themselves. Consider a group conversation where everyone competes to be heard. Someone makes a point, and instead of jumping in, you pause. The room leans in. They wait. The pause signals importance. It signals that your contribution matters without you having to assert it. Silence is not awkward. It is deliberate. It is magnetic. In one-on-one conversations, a pause after someone shares something vulnerable gives them space to continue, often leading them to disclose insights or feelings they had not intended to share. Strategic silence elevates presence over performance. It is a quiet assertion of authority and attention that words alone rarely achieve. Phrase number 5, I appreciate you. Not thank you, not thanks for your help, not I appreciate what you did. Those are transactional. They acknowledge actions, services rendered, tasks completed. Someone helped you move, you say thanks. Someone covered your shift, you say you appreciate it. The action, the thing they did for you, but I appreciate you. Those 3 words do something different. They acknowledge the person, not what they did, who they are. Watch the difference. Your friend shows up when things are hard, again, like they always do. You could say, "Thanks for being there." That's fine, polite, correct. But it's about the action, being there. Now say, "I appreciate you." You're not thanking them for showing up this time. You're recognizing that they're the kind of person who shows up. Always. That's character. And you're acknowledging you see it. You see them, not just what they do for you. Who they are when nobody's asking them to be anything. People are desperate for this recognition. The world treats them as functions. Appreciating someone's character over their actions transforms relationships. The simple phrase "I appreciate you" carries significance when directed at character. Acknowledging effort, integrity, resilience, or generosity signals that you notice the person beyond superficial achievements. Recognition builds loyalty and trust. Imagine a team member who consistently demonstrates honesty and dedication. Instead of praising only results, you say "I appreciate you." This recognition resonates deeper. It cultivates admiration and reciprocal respect. Presence is strengthened by recognizing others authentically. When you focus on character rather than action, people feel truly seen. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." When you appreciate another's essence, you set a standard for interaction rooted in authenticity and virtue. Phrase number 6, no. This sixth principle is boundaries. It is the one most people are terrible at, but without it, nothing you say actually matters because your words won't be respected. Saying no protects your time and energy. Overcommitment dilutes presence. People who cannot say no appear desperate for approval or recognition. Those who establish limits demonstrate self-respect and command respect from others. Imagine being asked to take on additional responsibilities beyond your capacity. The immediate reaction might be to say yes to avoid disappointing anyone. Instead, a simple no with clarity preserves your focus and presence. Boundaries are not rejection. They are protection of your most valuable asset, your attention. Setting limits increases respect because it communicates that your time and energy are finite and meaningful. It signals that you value yourself as much as you value others. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, when you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Preserving that privilege requires discernment. Boundaries are an essential component of presence and influence. These 6 principles are not isolated. They interact and reinforce one another. Curiosity opens doors that honesty ensures you navigate with integrity. Validation and recognition deepen connections made possible by the silence that punctuates your words. Boundaries protect the energy necessary to sustain genuine presence. Together, they form a holistic approach to communication. Each principle subtracts performance, pretension, and neediness. Each principle adds weight, authenticity, and influence. When applied consistently, people begin to notice subtle changes. Conversations feel lighter yet more impactful. You no longer compete for attention with volume or theatrics. Instead, people naturally gravitate toward your presence. Attraction emerges from subtraction. Influence emerges from character. Real connection emerges from authenticity. Practical application is essential. Start small. In your next conversation, use "tell me more about that" to deepen curiosity. Resist the urge to fill the silence with advice or anecdotes. Notice how the other person reacts. Observe the subtle shift in energy. Next, embrace honesty. When you do not know, say I do not know. Do not apologize or justify. Notice how people respond with trust rather than judgment. Then, apply validation. That sounds difficult is a phrase you can repeat when someone shares challenges. Resist the urge to solve. Simply acknowledge. Your calm presence communicates that their emotions matter. Introduce strategic silence in conversations. Pause before responding. Pause after someone shares something important. Let the room feel the weight of your words. Recognize character. Look for qualities such as resilience, patience, or integrity. Express I appreciate you sincerely. Finally, protect your time. When requests exceed your capacity, say no firmly yet respectfully. Observe how your energy, focus, and presence transform. Repetition builds mastery. Consistency builds credibility. Your influence grows naturally over time. Quotes from the Stoics reinforce the wisdom behind these principles. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Epictetus taught we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so we can listen twice as much as we speak. Seneca reminded silence is a lesson learned from the many sufferings of life. These words are not abstract philosophy. They are practical guidance for everyday interaction. When you align presence with these teachings, you stop performing and start being. Your words carry weight because they are grounded in authenticity. Your silence commands attention because it signals thoughtfulness and respect. Your boundaries are honored because they are rooted in principle. Your recognition is valued because it is sincere and selective. As you integrate these 6 principles, notice the subtle yet profound changes. People feel drawn to you naturally. They seek your company without coaxing. Conversations are deeper, not longer. Influence is quiet, not loud. Attraction is organic, not forced. You do not need to impress or perform. You simply need to be present, authentic, and deliberate. Subtracting noise, filler, and pretense creates space for genuine connection. This is the essence of magnetic communication. It is the art of influence without effort. The art of attraction without performance. The art of connection without manipulation. Imagine walking into any room, whether a meeting, social gathering, or family event. You carry curiosity, honesty, validation, silence, recognition, and boundaries with you. You do not rush to speak. You listen intently. You acknowledge without judgment. You pause strategically. You appreciate genuinely. You protect your time. Others notice. They respond differently. They lean in, engage, and remember. Your presence becomes magnetic because it is real. You are not performing. You are being. Over time, these 6 simple words and 1 powerful pause change how the world responds to you. They build influence, trust, and attraction that no act, joke, or charm can replicate. Presence and character always outperform performance. When you reflect on these principles, consider how often you have relied on performance rather than presence. Think about conversations where you talked more and were heard less. Think about situations where you solved problems instead of validating, where you filled silence instead of letting it breathe, where you sought approval instead of setting boundaries. Now imagine the alternative. Imagine substituting curiosity for assumptions, honesty for pretense, validation for solutions, silence for noise, recognition for superficial praise, and boundaries for overcommitment. This is not theoretical. It is practical. It is immediately actionable. It transforms relationships, conversations, and your ability to influence others authentically. Influence is not about the words you say. Influence is about the presence you embody. The 6 words and the pause we discussed are tools. Tools that subtract neediness, filler, and performance. Tell me more about that. I do not know. That sounds difficult. Silence. I appreciate you. No. Each carries unique power, yet combined they form a framework for magnetic communication. They guide you to listen more than speak, to be authentic rather than impressive, to respect your time while honoring others. Practice them daily. Observe how conversations shift. Notice how influence arises naturally. Attraction follows effortlessly. Connection deepens without effort. The world responds to authenticity, not performance. The world respects boundaries, not desperation. The world remembers presence, not noise. In conclusion, attraction, influence, and connection are not built through overspeaking, performing, or adding charm. They are built through subtraction. Subtraction of neediness, filler, and pretense. Addition of curiosity, honesty, validation, silence, recognition, and boundaries. These principles are timeless. They are rooted in Stoic wisdom and human psychology. They are simple, yet profound. They are actionable immediately. Start small, practice consistently, and observe the transformation. Your words will carry weight, your presence will command attention, and your relationships will deepen authentically. Stop performing. Start being. Let presence, authenticity, and character guide every interaction. The 6 words and the pause we shared today are your tools to unlock this transformation. Practice them, embody them, and notice how naturally attraction and influence follow. The most magnetic people you know do not try to impress. They listen more than they speak. They admit when they do not know. They validate struggles. They pause strategically. They recognize character. They protect their time. You can become one of them. It begins with choice. The choice to subtract performance and add presence. The choice to embrace curiosity, honesty, validation, silence, recognition, and boundaries. The choice to be authentic in every conversation. Influence, attraction, and connection are available to everyone willing to practice these principles. They are simple, yet they require courage and consistency. Begin today. Observe the impact. Reflect, refine, and repeat. Your words will carry weight. Your silence will command attention. Your presence will magnetically attract respect, trust, and genuine connection. The 6 words and the pause are more than phrases. They are a way of being. They are the foundation of influence, the essence of attraction, and the key to connection. If this changed how you communicate, share it. Let others learn that presence matters more than performance. Let others discover the power of subtraction. Let the 6 words and the pause transform conversations around you. Practice them, embody them, and watch the ripple effect of genuine influence and connection expand through every interaction you have. Your journey toward magnetic communication starts now. You do not need more words. You do not need more charm. You need presence, authenticity, and character. Remember, tell me more about that. I do not know. That sounds difficult. Silence. I appreciate you. No. Use them wisely, consistently, and intentionally. Influence and attraction will follow naturally. Connection will deepen effortlessly. This is not theory. It is practice. It is reality. Begin today, and watch your words, your presence, and your influence transform in ways you never imagined. This is Stoic quiet strength, power in silence.